everybody, Pepper Basham here, and I would like to welcome you to Seasoned with Romance, my very first book talk video. I am so excited to have you guys here and just wanted to give you a little bit about what my book talk is going to be about. It's going to be about romance, of course, but what do I mean by that? Well, I am calling out to all the hopeful romantics. I know we hear a lot about hopeless romantic, but I like to think of us all who are reading these books and finding such joy and excitement and sweetness and all of those sorts of things. I like to think of us being hopeful romantic, which means we are full of hope. And that's what books we're going to talk about on this book talk channel, Seasoned with Romance. A little play on my name there, just in case you didn't notice that. So let me tell you a little bit about what kind of stories and movies and talk we might have on this book talk channel. I want to talk about lots of lighthearted and more dramatic romance stories that really bring to light the beauty of what romance can be. And that can mean from some of my own stories, but also from what I'm currently reading or watching, and we just talk about it. What makes it a good romance? What brings out the hopefulness in these stories? So that's what I'm trying to focus in on here, and I want to bring you guys with me because, wow, it's so much more fun to do it in a group. So some of the things that we're going to talk about are characters and how they work together as the two romantics, hero and heroine in the stories. Also talk about what some swoon-worthy moments that might happen in the books or in the movies. I'm going to talk a little bit about my writing journey and what writing romance is like, and what writing humor in romance and drama in romance and family history in romance is like. I would love to bring you guys with me on some of my research trips where I'll go and do research about what I'm getting ready to write so you guys can join along and how those moments make the story even sweeter. So I am excited to have you all with me and really would love to hear more about what you like. So I'm going to have you do a few things for me to leave in the comments in just a minute. I'm a big fan of reading romance books, and I've loved romantic books for a very long time. I would have to say my first probably introduction to romantic fiction was classics, Jane Austen, Jane Eyre, things like that where you are rooting for the hero and heroine, though sometimes now I look back on Rochester and go, what? Anyway, but as a 9th grader reading Jane Eyre for the first time, I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I learned through classics, but then some of the very first Christian fiction books that I read were written by Mary Conneally. Petticoat Ranch just blew my mind. I loved it because there was so much lighthearted situations and humor, but still so much heart. Siri Mitchell, I fell in love with Kissing Adrian that she wrote and realized, oh my goodness, this is what I've been writing and I didn't know what to call it or where to place it. So falling in love with those type of authors. Then I moved into reading Julie Lessman, and her spice level was kind of what I liked. And so blending all of those authors that I just really inspired me early on to go, hey, I'm writing something similar to this. I love reading stuff like this. I want to move in this direction. It's been really great. Some of my auto-buy authors that write fantastic romance. I would say one of my very top ones is Mimi Matthews. I adore her books. I adore the romance she writes, and hers is historical. But they're just fantastically done, subtle. She writes Gen Market, but the stories are clean, and there's such great characters and romantic tension in them. I also love to read Laura Frantz. Not only is she a wonderful friend, but she writes beautifully historic, kind of epic sorts of historic Christian fiction, but also some Christian romance, and love reading her stuff because you get the depth of the history, the depth of the drama, and just wonderful characterization. And she writes like it's poetry. Another great author that I love to read is Amanda Dykes. Again, historical, but with such amazing beauty in how she writes. Some contemporaries, fantastic. Becky Wade, how can you go wrong with Becky Wade? Love reading her stuff. I still haven't read Memory Lane yet, but it's on my list. I love reading, for a little bit of suspense, but a whole lot of romance, I like reading Lynn Blackburn. Fantastic. Great banter, by the way. Banter is a very important thing. Another historical, a couple more historical, and I'm not sure whether to say I fully enjoy reading Jamie Jo Wright's books, but I love her writing because she's such an excellent writer. And when she does put some romance in there, it's very well done. So I will support her even if I have to kind of hide behind pillows while reading. Nichole Van is a new author for me, and I have absolutely loved everything I've read by her. The romance is yes. So along the same lines as Mimi Matthews, Nichole Van has become a new favorite because the romance is so wonderfully done. Karen Witemeyer, you can never go wrong if you want humor and history and romance together. It's a great blend, best kind of soup, and I adore reading her stuff, and she's just an excellent person. Right now, oh, and Courtney Walsh. Did I mention Courtney Walsh already? Love reading Courtney Walsh. Lighthearted, fun. I think I have one of her books here. Let me see. I do. Lighthearted, fun, great banter, that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, we're hopeful romantics here. All right, so right now, I just started reading this book, Emma of 83rd Street. Because I am a big Jane Austen fan, I love reading remakes of Austen's works. And this is a modern day version of Jane Austen's Emma. I can't talk much about it right now because I've not gotten very far, but the cover is adorable. And I'm so excited to get to read it because Emma is my favorite Jane Austen novel. And I'll talk to you about why some other time. That would be a great video to do some other time. But I'm excited about this one. Just started it. I also have Sarah Adams, one of her newest ones. I'll grab it. Practice Makes Perfect, because it came highly recommended. It's on my list too. So I am looking forward to sharing these books with you guys, and let us talk about romance. Now, before I get off of here, I'll tell you a few other of my favorite things. I love chocolate. I enjoy jazz. I love walking in these Blue Ridge Mountains where I live. I am an Appalachian girl at heart, and this place where I live is just beautiful. I live close to Biltmore, so I'll take you guys with me on a trip there soon, and we'll talk about books that have happened at Biltmore. And I love my family. I have 5 kids. I'm so honored to get to be their mom. They're just a blast. And we're in a different stage of life where they're all getting a little older, so it's been a fun journey, and they're becoming, moving into the friendship range with me, although I'll still always be their mom. So that's kind of about me a little bit. Very short, quick about me. I'll tell you more later. So some of the stories that you guys may have read of mine are, here's one. Positively Penelope is part of a series that starts with Authentically Izzy. Second is Positively Penelope, and I just turned in Loyally Luke last week. So we'll see how it fits into the grand scheme of the Skamarian stories. I also write historical romance that's set in Appalachia and the Blue Ridge Mountains and England because I'm a big Anglophile. So we'll talk about that on some video as well. But what I would love for you guys to do for me is answer 3 questions below in the comments. Number 1, I would love to hear some things you would like me to talk about. From books to writing to movies or whatever. If there's something in particular you'd like me to share on this Seasoned with Romance book talk video, I would love to share those things with you. So please leave some ideas down below in the comments. Second, I would love to know who one of your auto-buy authors is, and why. Why do you love that person? Why do you buy their books straight away? What about them, and let's keep it romance, what about them and the way they write romance totally captures your attention? And number 3, I would love for you to share something unique about you. Do you like jazz? Do you like classical? Are you a dancer? Do you eat chocolate while standing on your head? You know, just fun stuff like that. So share in the comments below. I would love to learn more about you. I want this to be a dialogue, and I am so excited about starting this journey with you. Thanks so much. You guys have a fantastic day. To all you hopeful romantics.